right, Titans fans. Just when you thought the NFL head coaching search wouldn't get even more crazier, well, we just got a guy that you got to put all the way at the top of the list. Because randomly yesterday, well, I wouldn't say randomly, because I think some people kind of expected it after their loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers on a game-losing field goal, a miss from Tyler Loop, but they actually did it. The Baltimore Ravens fired John Harbaugh as their head coach. And welcome into Titans Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alpers. So let's just talk about this. I mean, did you ever think in your life that a top head coach, because this head coaching cycle isn't as great as it was back in 2024. There was Ben Johnson. There was Liam Cohen. There was, well, we shouldn't talk about Mike Vrabel because he was the head coach of the Titans at one point. But this year, it's an insane development now that all of the coaches that you have planned on talking to, like Kevin Stefanski, like Vance Joseph, like Matt Nagy and Steve Spagnuolo, well, throw that just a little bit down below, and John Harbaugh has to go to the literal top of the list because he is one of the best head coaches in NFL history. He is a Hall of Famer. Like if we look at his 18 years when he was with the Baltimore Ravens, where he went from Joe Flacco and a little space in between, then to Lamar Jackson. Only 3 seasons under 500. He is 180 and 113 record. And I'll make note that the Titans are interviewing Raheem Morris. And Raheem Morris's record is like 33 and 56. A 13 and 11 postseason record. 4 AFC Championship game appearances. 6 division titles. And of course, you can't forget about the number one thing that is at the top of the list. And that is literally Super Bowl 47. John Harbaugh is a Hall of Fame coach, and I don't expect him to take a break. I don't expect him to do one of those, I'm going to take a year off. I'm just going to kind of sit back, maybe do some TV for a little bit. No, I'm expecting him to go straight into the head coaching search because this is an absolute shocker to him and the entire NFL. So the Titans immediately just need to be able to jump on top of that because if they do not talk to him, it is going to be a major problem, and you see the coaching candidates that Mike Borgonzi is going over and over and over because there are some guys where you look up and you question, and it's like, what the hell are we thinking? And we'll get to one head coach on the back half of the show, but I mean, still, you need to go into this offseason and get the best guy that is for Cam Ward. And we saw what John Harbaugh is doing with Lamar Jackson. So I think that he can also do it with Cam Ward and might be a little intriguing to work with a quarterback. I'll ask you guys, do you want John Harbaugh as the next Titans head coach? If any of you say no, please let me know down in the comment section why. Because I think everybody, even teams that still have a head coach, should want them as their HC. So come on, go down in the comment section. Let me know. Give me a Y for yes or give me an N for no down in the comment section. We're going to breaking more of it down and talk a little bit about more of John Harbaugh in just a second. But first, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is Prize Picks. Whether you're starting a new routine or making player picks for the first time, trying something new can be hard, but in life and on Prize Picks, it feels good to be right. With high-pressure playoff matchups every single weekend. You know, it's the first weekend of the playoffs for football. Yeah, well, we're going to take advantage of that one. Elite hoops action almost every single night. There are all teams playing tonight in basketball. The action never stops, and Prize Picks lets you take control. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less than 2 to 6 player stat projections. And if your picks are right, you can cash in. It's a new feature alert. Prize Picks now has early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. And I got a lineup. If you guys watched the video yesterday, you saw this lineup, but the games haven't started yet, so we're still going to boost this one. Trevor Lawrence, give me the more on 230.5 passing yards. Jalen Hurts, we're going with the less. He's terrible. Give me the less on 205.5 passing yards. And Ramondre Stevenson, don't overthink it. He is the main guy over Travion Henderson. Give him the more on 38.5 rushing yards. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. All right, so let's talk about. So a little bit, and you can see right here, this is the tweet from Adam Schefter. In the first 45 minutes after John Harbaugh was fired yesterday afternoon, his agent, Brian Harlan, said he received calls from 7 NFL teams expressing interest in his client. There are currently 7 head coaching openings, including Baltimore. And if we go through the list, I think it is the Titans, the Ravens, the Giants, the Cardinals, the Browns. I'm trying to remember all of them, but there are a lot of head coaching, but 7 including Baltimore. So that means one team has contacted Harbaugh that still has their head coach. So you got to think that one of those teams is going to be the Tennessee Titans. But if you see that tweet 517, well, John Harbaugh got fired a little bit earlier, but literally a couple minutes after, we get this tidbit, and it kind of just made me question everything and make me laugh my ass off, because the Titans are interviewing former Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett for the job. And my first thought was, what? Huh? Why? What has he done? Jason Garrett hasn't coached since 2021. He has not been a head coach since 2019. What are we thinking here? Like, there is nothing where you look at Jason Garrett and you're like, oh, that really looks good. He hasn't been a head coach in 5 years for a reason. He was the Giants' offensive coordinator for 2 years, and they went, yeah, absolutely not. This just isn't working. This just isn't working out. 2016 NFL head coach of the year. Yeah, he took the Cowboys to the playoffs a couple times, but overall, just no. No. If you want to go after a former Cowboys head coach, Mike McCarthy is sitting right there waiting for the job. And I saw a tweet today that the Giants are going to interview Mike McCarthy. I haven't seen anything around the Titans. What are we doing? Just no. You think it's very smart. Like, I get it. They're going through everything. But I have seen them requesting to interview Raheem Morris, who just got fired and is a terrible head coach. And now you think it's smart to go and interview someone that hasn't been a coach since 2021 and hasn't been a head coach since 2019? Like, are you serious right now? Mike Bergonzi, get it together. And I hope you guys know that since the Ravens fired John Harbaugh, some of the coaching candidates that the Titans might have in mind are going to not want to go to Tennessee because they'd rather play with a better team in the Baltimore Ravens. They'd rather go and coach Lamar. So the Titans are going to have to be quick. This is going to be a lot harder for the Titans to find their specific head coach if now the Baltimore Ravens job is open. So that's another job opening. More teams, more head coaches are going to think, well, this is probably a better option for me going to Baltimore instead of Tennessee. Like, the Ravens job is valued way more than the Titans. I'd hate to say it, but I mean, with the history, the Ravens making the playoffs quicker than the Titans, it just, Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers, I don't know if Derrick Henry's still going to be on the team, but it is way more value. You are just going to have to find your coach as quick as possible. Get on it. Interview the coaches first. Not make them sign the deal right then. If you think you have your guy, do not let him leave the building. Got to be quick. You have to be quick. Before we get on out of here, I'll ask you guys, who do you want as head coach of the Tennessee Titans? I've asked this in a lot of videos, but go down in the comments section. Let me know down below who you want as head coach. We're going to be making videos all throughout the week, throughout this coaching search until the Titans find their head coach. How long is it going to take? Nobody knows. But we got you covered here on Titans Today. So hit that sub button, and as always, tighten up.